Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 4. And so I just wanted to quickly remind you that we do have conferences this week. That's pretty much our only assignment. And so I just want to make sure, other than the reading for this week, but this is our only process work assignment. And so I just kind of wanted to remind you that this is worth points. If you are looking to sign up for a time or if it slipped your mind, no problem. There's still lots of times available. And if you have a schedule that doesn't allow for you to meet during the times that I've put on here, I totally understand. Please reach out to me and just let me know that that's something that's coming up. And I've been able to work with some students to come up with an alternative for the conference. And so just let me know and I can do the same for you. I want you to get those points. Okay. So we have our narrative argument peer review coming up next week. I just wanted to make a quick video going over it because I think that once you get the idea in your mind, it's going to be totally fine. But I don't want you to feel confused, and especially I am going to be out of town this weekend, and I don't want you to be worried about this. And I might not be able to respond super quickly. I will be here Monday and Tuesday though, so no worries about that. If you want to look over anything, I have all the information available online now. There's the peer review questions that I'm going to be asking you, lots of instructions, and there's also a link here to a sign up sheet. And so what you'll do is you'll click on this, and it's going to take you to a sign up sheet for peer review. And this is on Google Docs. So you'll just choose a group. I think group 1 is probably good until this fills up, and then go to group 2 and so on. And then you'll just put your name here. And please don't put your name down unless you do have a draft ready. You can still participate in peer review if you don't have a draft, but it just makes things a little bit easier if the only people who are listed in the group are people who have drafts that can be read, because that makes it so that people who are in this group know which drafts to read. So if you sign up for a group and you don't have a draft, then it ends up this group doesn't have enough drafts, and then people are panicking that they don't have enough drafts to read and they're not going to get points. I'm looking into the future, but I have a feeling that could happen just based on previous semesters. Okay. So here's what the group 1 is going to look like. You'll have your worksheet on the first page with all the questions. You don't have to answer each of these questions in lots of detail. You don't have to write full sentences. You could write lists as responses. You don't have to answer every single question that I ask within the question, because a lot of these have like 3 questions built in, like number 2 has 3 different questions. So what I want you to be thinking about though is, for example, this one is about thesis or message on the narrative argument. And I want you to be thinking about, okay, how could it be stronger? Or is it working well so far? And if so, how is it working well? And then you just want to explain a little bit here. You don't have to answer every single question in detail to get points on this. The goal for peer review, I'm so sorry. The goal for peer review is to make sure that the person gets good feedback and is able to change their paper. And so as long as you're communicating effectively what types of ideas you have for helping them improve, you should be fine. I did want to show you an example of a group that has already filled this out. So this is for my 102. And so it's a different worksheet. But then if you scroll down, you can look at the papers. And so what they did is, instead of copying and pasting their entire essay into the document, which is what I recommend, these students actually shared links to their essays. That's totally fine, as long as you change your sharing settings so that people can actually access it, because it's automatically going to be restricted. And that's another thing that typically comes up. You just want to make sure that you have your sharing settings open, or otherwise people aren't going to be able to read your essay. That's why I recommend copying and pasting it. But what you can see here is that they have copied and pasted this worksheet, and then each of them filled out their names. So you can see the different students, they're reading Carly's essay. Here's Carly's essay. You could click on it and it takes you to the essay. And then it's color coded, so I can see where each of the students filled in their responses to each of these questions. And that is a place where that's where I was able to kind of look and grade, because I can see each of these people responded. And so that's something that you could do. You could also fill it out where you copy and paste your paper, and then people copy and paste the worksheets below and fill them in individually. That's another thing that happens a lot. I'm not sure if I have a good example of this on this page. For example, here's Carly did one on a different student. And so there's the student's paper, and then just Carly gave reviews in here. So this is what it could look like if you do that. All right, I think that's everything for this week. I am looking forward to peer review next week, and I can definitely give you more guidance and everything once that comes up. But until then, good luck working on your drafts, and I hope you have a good week.